Hello students, welcome to this CET coaching class. Today I will be discussing multiple choice questions on the chapter of biomolecules. Let's consider the first question. Identify the wrong statement with respect to monosaccharides. So we have to identify the wrong statements. Monosaccharides are water soluble. Monosaccharides, in fact, even up to oligosaccharides, they are soluble in water because they can make extensive hydrogen bonding with water. Whereas polysaccharides, there is some problem. They cannot make hydrogen bonding extensively. Starch dissolves only when boiled partially. Formula of monosaccharides, like if you consider glucose, it is C6H12O6, fructose also, ribose is C5H10O5. So the second statement is correct. Glucose and fructose are examples of monosaccharides. They are further hydrolyzed than the together actually. This is the wrong statement. Answer for first question is this one. In fact, monosaccharides are defined as the simplest carbohydrates which cannot be further hydrolyzed. Which of the following is not an aldose? See, glucose is an aldose. It contains CH4 group. Ribose is an aldose, whereas fructose is a ketose. If you know the structure of fructose, you will understand first and last carbon atoms are primary alcohols, whereas second carbon atom is a ketone. So galactose is also an aldehyde containing compound. So which of the following is not a aldose? And C is the answer. Fructose is the answer for second question. Which of the following compound is a monosaccharide? Fructose is the answer for this, or if another an example is given, you must be able to identify. This is the answer for third question. Raffinose is a trisaccharide. See, these questions come under classification of carbohydrates. Trisaccharide, it is made up of galactose, glucose, and fructose. It is like attaching galactose to a sucrose molecule. Sucrose is a disaccharide which is made up of glucose and fructose with a beta glycosidic bond. Maltose is made up of two alpha glucose units with alpha glycosidic bond. Therefore, answer for third question is A. The monosaccharide which exists in two optically active forms. Only two optically active forms must be there. See, glucose contains two to four chiral carbon atoms totally. If you look at the structure of glucose, first and last carbon atoms, second carbon atom chiral, third is chiral, fourth is also chiral, fifth is also chiral. Therefore, second, third, fourth, fifth carbon atoms are chiral. 2 to the power of 4 means 16 isomers are possible for open chain structure of glucose. Whereas if you consider fructose, first carbon atom and last carbon atom are primary alcohols. Second carbon atom is a ketone. Third carbon atom is chiral. Fourth carbon atom is chiral. And fifth carbon atom is also chiral. Therefore, totally there are 3 chiral carbon atoms. So 8 isomers are possible for fructose. Glyceraldehyde is the triose, first member of aldoses with simplest structure. It has one chiral carbon atom. So 2 optical isomers are possible, which are nothing but its mirror images. That means glucose can exist in the form of enantiomers. So which are the 2 optically active forms of glyceraldehyde ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ enantiomers ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Actually, plus glyceraldehyde is called natural glyceraldehyde because it is found in nature. Dihydroxyacetone is the first member of ketosis. It comes under the definition, but no chiral carbon atom. Therefore, there is no optical activity. So only 2 optically active forms are possible for C. For answer for fourth question is glyceraldehyde. Which of the following sugar occurs in the urine of diabetics? So answer for this is dextrose. Dextrose is the other name of glucose. So ಇದು ಯಾವುದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. Dextrorotatory property ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ glucose is also called dextrose. because of deficiency of insulin hormone, excess of glucose will be excreted in urine. Answer for fifth question is dextrose. Glucose gives gluconic acid when treated with bromine water, and this reaction shows the presence of. Glucose has formula C6H12O6, whereas gluconic acid has formula C6H12O7. Just one carbon atom ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. And bromine water is a mild oxidizing agent. Even under cold conditions, the reaction takes place, means it should be an aldehyde which easily gets converted into carboxylic acid without breaking carbon-carbon sigma bonds. Ketone ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. Therefore, answer for sixth question is C. So this reaction shows presence of aldehyde. So this question is from elucidation of structure of glucose. Which of the following reagents can be used to distinguish glucose and fructose, except, okay, one of the reagents cannot be used to distinguish. Tollens reagent. See, both glucose and fructose, when heated with Tollens reagent, they give silver mirror test. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ aldehyde ketone property na confuse ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. Fructose gets converted into glucose when boiled in an alkaline medium. ಅದು enolization ಆಗಿ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ತರನೇ ಫ್ರುಕ್ಟೋಸ್ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. It can reduce Tollens reagent and also Fehling solution. Both glucose and fructose can reduce Fehling solution to orange red precipitate of cuprous oxide. So idu distinguishing agala. Both react with phenyl hydrazine to form ozone. Ozone is a dihydrazone. It consumes two molecules of phenyl hydrazine to form ozone having same structure. So best reagent is D, bromine water, because even under cold conditions, glucose gets converted into gluconic acid and it decolorizes bromine water, as fructose needs a strong oxidizing agent to get oxidized. So answer for seventh question will be bromine water. Glucose when heated with methanol in presence of dry HCl gives alpha and beta methyl glycosides. See, there are some objections to the Fischer open chain structure. One of the objections is the mutarotation. There are two crystalline forms of glucose called beta glucose and alpha glucose having different melting points. When they are dissolved in water, they get converted into each other's forms and attain equilibrium. To prove this, the only reaction that we get is formation of methyl glucoside. See, methyl glucoside, this is beta methyl glucoside. So obtained by heating glucose solution with methanol and HCl. So this is alpha methyl glucoside. Now they cannot get converted into each other. So ಈಗ ಅದು equilibrium attain ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, mutarotation ಆಗಲ್ಲ. This proves the presence of ring structure. ಇದನ್ನ ಗ್ಲೈಕೋಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇಂಥ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಗ್ಲೈಕೋಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅನಾಮರಿಕ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, then the mutarotation is not possible. That proves the presence of a ring structure. So answer for eighth question is presence of a ring structure. To prove hydroxyl group, we have to convert that into pentacetate. ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. To prove primary alcohol, you have to use strong oxidizing agent like nitric acid to get glucaric acid. And to prove aldehyde, you have to use bromine water. So answer for this question is C. The six-membered pyranose ring structures of glucose which exist in two forms with different orientation, OH at C1. These two are called. So ikane adu structures nan bardide. So this is alpha glucose and another one is beta glucose, OH projected upwards. So here the C1 carbon atom is initially an aldehyde in open chain. It gets converted into ring. So that is called hemiacetal carbon. Similarly, in case of fructose, it is called hemiketal carbon. So hemiacetal or hemiketal carbon is previously a carbonyl carbon. It gets involved in the ring formation. and that carbon is called anomeric carbon. Because it is called anomeric carbon, these two are known as anomers. So what are anomers? These are optical isomers which differ in the configuration at anomeric carbon atom or hemiacetal or hemiketal carbon atom. So answer for this question is B. Ninth question. Isomers is a too broad word. Adರಲ್ಲಿ structural isomers ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. Mesomers contain chiral carbon atoms, but they are inactive because they contain plane of symmetry. Plane of symmetry ಇದ್ರೆ, though it contains optically chiral carbon atoms, it will be optically inactive. Enantiomers are related as non-superimposable object and mirror images. So these are not related by object and mirror image. Mirror image alpha glucose, beta glucose. Therefore, the best answer is anomers for ninth question. Which of the following falls under the category of carbohydrates? See, glycogen is the answer for this question. Glycogen is storage polysaccharide in animals. So this is one of the jobs of insulin. It polymerizes excess of glucose in our blood and it is stored in liver as glycogen. Insulin is a protein hormone. It is a protein that acts as hormone. Cytosine is a nitrogen containing heterocyclic base which is found in DNA and RNA. Cobalamin is a class of vitamins, so it comes under vitamin B12, water soluble vitamins. So the answer for 10th question is glycogen. Which of the following is not a furanose? So deoxyribose, ribose, both are furanose structures. If there is a OH group on second carbon atom, see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is fifth carbon atom. Now this is ribose. If you remove oxygen from the second carbon atom, then it is called 2-deoxy. Observe this position. Now this is called 2-deoxyribose. Furanose in sucrose. Glucose is joined to a furanose form of 5-member ring of fructose. See, this is fructose part, this is glucose part in sucrose. Ribose is furanose, fructose in sucrose is furanose, deoxyribose is also furanose, 5-member ring structures. Therefore, answer for this question, 11th question, will be galactose. See, galactose is a pyranose ring which is joined to a glucose molecule by a beta glycosidic bond. See, when fructose joined with other monosaccharides, it will be in furanose form. But when fructose joins with other fructose molecules, it becomes a pyranose form. Which of the following statements is not correct? Cyclization of glucose results in two structures of pyranose called anomers. See, this is correct. Just now we have seen there are two anomeric forms of glucose, that is alpha glucose and then another one is beta glucose. Glucose reacts with Schiff's reagent and sodium bisulfite. In fact, this is a property of Schiff's reagent is used to test aldehyde group. When treated with Schiff's reagent, any aldehyde like formaldehyde or acetaldehyde produces pink coloration, and with sodium bisulfite, carbonyl compounds undergo addition reaction, the nucleophilic addition reactions, NER reactions. But actually glucose does not give the Schiff's test and sodium bisulfite, even though it is an aldose. So that is one of the objections raised to the open chain structure, and that is the answer for the 12th question. Specific rotation of alpha D glucose is 112. Specific rotation of beta D glucose is 19.7. And both when dissolved in water they attain constant value of 55.5 because of equilibrium. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ವಿಚಿತ್ರವಾಗಿರೋದೇನೆಂದರೆ glucose, though it is an aldehyde, does not give pink coloration as Schiff's reagent and does not undergo addition reaction with sodium bisulfite. Which of the following statements is correct? Polymers of beta glucose are readily digested. Actually, this statement is wrong because cellulose, which is a polymer of beta glucose, it is a poly-beta glucose, and it is not digested in human beings because of cellulase enzyme. Human beings, animals and ankobedi. So this is why it is given as human beings. Cellulase is present only in animals, not in human beings. Lactose has a alpha glycosidic linkage. It is also a wrong statement because lactose contains beta galactose linked to glucose. So it is a beta glycosidic bond. Both alpha and beta glucose have same melting point. Actually, they have got different crystalline structures and different melting points. Sucrose is a non-reducing sugar. See, it does not reduce Tollens reagent, Fehling solution, or Benedict solution, which are the three reagents used to test the reducing property of sugars. See, in case of sucrose, alpha glucose and beta glucose both engage their anomeric carbon atoms. So ಎರಡರದು anomeric carbon atoms glycosidic bond ಅಲ್ಲಿ involve ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Cannot be opened. Therefore, sucrose acts as non-reducing sugar. So ಯಾವುದು correct statement ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ there is only one correct statement, that is D. Which of the following statements is not correct? The phenomenon of mutarotation refers to change in specific rotation of either of two ionomers in solution with time and attaining constant equilibrium value, the same direction. It is correct. Just now I said alpha glucose has specific rotation of 112 and beta glucose has nearly 19. So when dissolved in water, they undergo mutarotation to produce a mixture of definite ratio, and in the same direction there will be specific rotation. ಈಗಲೂ ಅದು ಡೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೋ ಆಗೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, otherwise ಅದು inversion ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. Glucose exists in two crystalline forms having different melting point. This is true. So first statement is correct. Second is also correct. Pentacetate of glucose reacts with NH2OH, another actually a wrong statement. Alpha D glucose attains a constant specific rotation of 52.5. This is also correct. Even beta glucose, when freshly prepared solution, has 19° as specific rotation, but after some time it becomes 52.5. Therefore, ಯಾವುದು correct ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ, which is not correct. Therefore, answer is C. Pentacetate of glucose, though 5 hydroxy groups are involved in esterification, ಒಂದು aldehyde group ಎಲ್ಲೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಡೌಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. It does not react with NH2OH. So this is also another objection to Fischer open chain formula. Which of the following statement is not observed during structural elucidation of glucose? Glucose gives hexane when heated with HI, which indicates linear chain of carbon atoms. ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ. It is correct. Gluconic acid is produced when primary hydroxyl group is oxidized ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Actually, this is wrong. Gluconic acid is produced because of oxidation of aldehyde group to carboxylic acid. Just ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು oxygen atom ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾದಲ್ಲಿ, and that too by using bromine water, mild oxidizing agent. So which is not observed ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ that is B. Glucose is pentacetate ester indicating 5 OH groups. ಇದು ಸರಿ ಇದೆ. Glucose decolorizes bromine water indicating presence of an aldehyde group ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. In fact, primary hydroxyl group ನ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ನೈಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನೈಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ we get a dicarboxylic acid called glucaric acid. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ aldehyde carbon COOH ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, and the last carbon atom primary alcohol also gets oxidized to COOH. So there will be change in number of hydrogen atoms also. So gluconic acid ಅಲ್ಲ ಬರೋದು, primary hydroxyl group ನ oxidize ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ aldehyde ನ oxidize ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ gluconic acid ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Answer for this question is B. Which of the following sugars has the largest relative sweetness with respect to sucrose? Sucrose ಗೆ sweetness scale 100 ಅಂತ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್. Glucose gets a score of about 80, fructose up to 140 to 160, and lactose is least sweet among these. It is 20, and maltose, it's a score of about 35. So fructose is sweeter than sucrose. ಇದನ್ನೇ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ವೀಟನರ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಆಲಿಟೇಮ್, ಆಸ್ಪರ್ಟೇಮ್, ಅದರದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಸ್ವೀಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಲಿಟೇಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ 2000 times sweetness than ಸುಕ್ರೋಸ್ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸುಕ್ರೋಸ್ನ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು 100 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. Test for fructose is, so fructose is a ketose. So test for ketose sugar is Selivanov reagent. So here resorcinol and 1:1 dilute HCl must be boiled with fructose, then you get a red colored solution. So formation of red color solution when boiled is indicating presence of fructose. Malicious test is a general test for carbohydrates, is a general test. So this is from practicals. Milan's test is test for phenolic amino acids, so amino acid containing phenolic group. Biuret test is a test for amino acids and peptides bonds. So CONH bond idya anta check ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ biuret test ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So fructose ಗೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ Selivanov's test using Selivanov's reagent. So answer for 17th question is Selivanov's. Beta glucose among the following. So observe the anomeric carbon atom. ಎಲ್ಲಾನು beta form ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ ಇದು. So all of them are beta. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಅಂತ? Second carbon atom below the ring, third carbon atom is above the ring, ಸರಿ ಇದೆ. Fourth carbon atom below the ring. So answer for this question must be A, because this is beta glucose. Here, okay, second carbon atom below the ring, third carbon atom above the ring, and fourth carbon atom is above the ring. So this is beta galactose. B is beta galactose. C is beta fructose. You can see it is a furanose ring, 5-membered ring. So this is third carbon atom. This is fourth carbon atom, fifth carbon. So it is beta fructose, whereas this one is beta ribose. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಫ್ರುಕ್ಟೋಸ್ಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is a pentose, that is beta ribose. So answer for 18th question is A. So you must be familiar with structures. Which of the following statements is wrong regarding alpha amino acids? Now we come to amino acids and proteins. In nature, there are about 20 amino acids that occur in proteins. It is correct. Human body can synthesize all essential amino acids. Actually, it is wrong. Essential amino acids definition, you have to recall. These are the amino acids which cannot be synthesized in our body, and they must be supplied in our food. Therefore, second statement is actually wrong statement. Answer must be B. So let's see what are C and D. Simplest amino acid is glycine, that is correct. There are 10 essential amino acids. So there are 10 essential amino acids like lysine and phenylalanine and others which have to be supplied in our food. So wrong statement ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ that is B. Human body can synthesize only non-essential amino acids. Which of the following statements is not correct? Tertiary structure of proteins is 3-dimensional, that is correct. We know it is got a coiled structures, sometimes coiled coil structures, and 3-dimensional structure. Globular protein, nearly all hydrophobic groups are hidden inside. It is also correct. Hydrophobic groups like isopropyl, secondary butyl groups of leucine, isoleucine, valine, adella will be turned inward, whereas hydrophilic groups like the ammonium COO minus or OH group, they will be projected outwards on the surface of the spheroid. Only hydrogen bonds are involved anta kottidare. Actually tappagutte. This is the wrong statement, and that is the answer for this. In fact, disulfide bonds irutte, ionic force of attraction will be there, and hydrogen bonding will be there between OH groups, NH2 groups present inside. So almost all types of interactions, even the van der Waals force of attraction between alkyl groups, all types of force of attractions are involved, and especially disulfide bonds. Therefore, only hydrogen bonds are tappagutte. Only hydrogen bonds are present in the alpha or beta pleated structure, secondary structure matra apply. Globular proteins are soluble in water. It's correct statement because hydrophilic groups are projected outwards. They form hydrogen bonding with water. So D actually reason B statement agutte. Answer for this question, 20th question is C. Proteins molecule present in hemoglobin is, okay, it is globulin. It is called globulin because it has got a globular structure. Globular structure arises due to very large number of amino acids, 134 and 136 amino acids. So there are two types of globulins in hemoglobin. Myosin is present in muscles, which is responsible for contraction of muscles. Fibrinogen is responsible for clotting of blood during wound, and casein is a milk protein. So answer for 21st question is globulin. In a peptide, so what are the facts with respect to a peptide? There is CONH bond linking amino acids, is correct. Each polypeptide has one C terminal and one N terminal. Okay. NH2 end, free amino end is called N terminal, and free COOH on the other end is called C terminal. So it is also correct. Secondary structure is stabilized by hydrogen bonding. It is correct, like the alpha helical structure or the beta pleated structures, they have hydrogen bonding between CO and NH groups. So the third statement is correct. Union of two amino acids gives two peptide bonds. See, when two amino acids react, so there will be elimination of one water molecule between carboxylic acid of one amino acid and an amino group of another amino acid. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ condensation reaction ಆಗಿ CONH bond ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So one CONH bond ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಎರಡು amino acids ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ, say A1 and A2, and you see only one peptide bond. So number of peptide bonds will be less than the number of amino acids by 1. Therefore, in a peptide, D is not possible, A, B, C are possible. So D is not possible, ಅಥವಾ wrong statement ಅಂತ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. This will be the answer. A wrong statement with respect to enzymes. ನೋಡಿ biomolecules ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈ ತರ questions ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Which of the following is wrong? Which of the following is true, false? ಆ ತರದೆಲ್ಲ. All enzymes found in our cells are invariably proteins and catalyze biological reactions. That is correct. So enzymes are biological catalysts and they are always proteins. Enzymes act efficiently at moderate temperature and native pH. So at about body temperature and native pH andre adu yav tissue nalli work agideo aa pH. Like in saliva it should be 6.8 pH, like in stomach it should be about acidic pH like pH 1.5 or 2. In the intestine it is alkaline. So a native pH alli aa enzyme ge 3-dimensional structure irutte, therefore it will be active. And temperature should be nearly of the body temperature of that animal. Coenzymes increase the activity of enzymes. It is also correct. Now promoters anta karitivalla catalysis nalli adhe tarane coenzymes are non-protein parts associated with enzymes, sometimes like magnesium ion. They increase the activity of enzymes. Enzymes are not specific anta kottidare. Actually D statement is wrong. That is the answer for it. They are highly specific in their action. Like salivary amylase acts upon starch and converts that into maltose in mouth itself. The enzyme pepsin acts on proteins. So likewise, lipases act upon the oils and fats, triglycerides. So enzymes are highly specific in their action. So the reactant kuda specific ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬರೋ product kuda specific ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Which of the following statements is not correct? Okay, almost matching the type. The proteins are peptide bonds. Okay, that is correct. Polysaccharides are made up of glycosidic bonds. That is COC bridge that is found between monosaccharides is glycosidic bond. Nucleic acids ನಲ್ಲಿ phosphodiester bonds ಇರುತ್ತೆ linking the nucleotides. And vitamins actually there will be no general structure ಏನು ಇರಲ್ಲ, and cannot be defined as polymers also. Polymers ಅಲ್ಲ vitamins are the discrete molecules, different molecules having different types of structures, functional groups, their own properties. Therefore, vitamins cannot be generalized like this. So D is the answer. Vitamins polymers alla hangagi there is no question of polyamide bonds. The following structure of cobra venom polypeptide represents. Okay, you can see here there is a three-dimensional structure. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು this is beta pleated purple color ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಇದು beta pleated ಬರುತ್ತೆ, and there will be, you can see here green formed, it is alpha helical structure. So they are stabilized by disulfide bonds. In disulfide bonds ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, and they'll be having all types of forces. So this structure actually represents tertiary structure of protein. There is only one polypeptide chain that is seen. If many polypeptide chains are there, then we can say it is quaternary structure, like in case of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin and quaternary structure irutte. There will be 4 polypeptide molecules held in case of hemoglobin. So hemoglobin ge quaternary structure ide, but illi kottirodu only tertiary structure. Primary structure is only sequence of amino acids, whereas secondary structure represents alpha helical and beta pleated structures. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ 3-dimensional view ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ you have to select the correct answer, tertiary structure, for 25th question. Nucleic acids are instant energy molecules ಅಲ್ಲ. Actually carbohydrates are instant energy molecules. ಬಹಳ ಬೇಗ digestion ಆಗಿ assimilation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. And also the metabolism takes place very fast to release energy in very few seconds. Therefore, carbohydrates are considered as the instant energy molecules. Storage energy molecules, carbohydrates ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, also fats. For a long time storage of energy, fats are required. Biochemical messengers are hormones which are produced in one part of the body called endocrine glands, and they will be carried by blood to the site of action. ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲೋ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅದು ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. So nucleic acids are actually responsible for hereditary characteristics of an animal. So that is transferring genetic information from parents to offsprings. Therefore, nucleic acids are hereditary molecules. That is the answer for 25th question. Which of the following statements is not correct? Nucleoside on hydrolysis gives nitrogen base, pentose sugar, and phosphoric acid. That is A. There are two types of nucleic acid, DNA and RNA. ಅದು ಸರಿ ಇದೆ. ಡಿಆಕ್ಸಿರೈಬೋಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ DNA ಅಂತೀವಿ, ribonucleic acid ribose ಇದ್ರೆ RNA. Nucleic acids are polymers of nucleotides. ಅದು ಸರಿ ಇದೆ. In fact, they are defined as polynucleotide. DNA contains deoxyribose. That statement is also correct. Actually, first statement is not correct, and that is the answer for this question. Nucleoside on hydrolysis gives nitrogen base plus only a pentose sugar. So ಇದೆರಡು condensation with elimination of water ಆದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಬರೋದು nucleoside. Nucleoside undergoes esterification with phosphoric acid. So again, by removal of water at 3' or 5' position of the ribose, then we are going to get nucleotide. So nucleotide is made up of 3 components: nitrogen base plus pentose sugar and phosphoric acid. So nucleotide na hydrolysis ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 3 component ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Nucleoside na hydrolysis ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ only 2 components are obtained: nitrogen base and pentose sugar. Therefore, answer for 26th question is A. Which of the following bases is not common to DNA and RNA? See, adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine, they are present in DNA, whereas RNA contains adenine, guanine, cytosine, and uracil. Therefore, which is not common at the ಕೇಳಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ A, G, C are common. Thymine is not common to both. Thymine is found only in DNA. Therefore, answer for 28th question is thymine. So, which of the following is absent in RNA andru ide thymine answer agutte. So, you must know which are the nitrogen bases present in DNA and RNA. Which of the following structures represents adenine? See, first structure is aminopurine. Actually, there it is numbered like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7, 8, 9. So it is 2 aminopurine. This is adenine. This is 2-oxo 6 aminopurine. That is guanine. So this is guanine, and this is cytosine. It is pyrimidine base having one ring. Pyrimidine. So it should be numbered like this: 2 amino 6 azo pyrimidine, and there is a methyl group here, that is thymine. So last one is thymine. Therefore, ಯಾವುದು adenine, so ನಿಮಗೆ structures ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಈ question answer ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ. So adenine is first one. A is the answer for 29th question. So second one is guanine, third one is cytosine, fourth one is thymine. Which of the following bases present in DNA only? Again, this is adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. Thymine is present in only in DNA. Therefore, answer for this question will be 4. So this is the answer. So which of the following is absent in RNA? Again, you have to choose thymine. Which of the following structures represents? So following structure represents what? You can see here there is one polynucleotide chain. It is running in 5' to 3' position. Here it is 3', here it is 5', and pentose sugar, you can see oxygen projected upwards here, and here oxygen projected downwards, and this is 3' position, this is 5' position. This is running in opposite direction. It's called anti-parallel arrangement. You can see guanine and cytosine linked by 3 hydrogen bonds, 1, 2, and 3, and here adenine is linked to thymine with 2 hydrogen bonds. So thymine and adenine joined by 2 hydrogen bonds, and cytosine and guanine are linked by 3 hydrogen bonds. So there will be one purine and one pyrimidine nitrogen bases in this gap. A gap ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರ accommodate ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. So because there are 2 polynucleotides, so that it is the structure of DNA. Whereas RNA is a single strand. This is called double stranded. Strand fiber. The meaning of it. So RNA is single stranded. So in this diagram we see double strands running in opposite directions. Therefore it is DNA. Not a polypeptide because you can see all the units of nucleic acids. Not cellulose because it is not a polymer of beta glucose. ನಮಗೆ nitrogen base ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Pentose sugar is also seen, and also you can see the phosphate sugar. Therefore it is the structure of DNA. You can also see there is no oxygen atom here. Second, it is deoxy. Therefore it is DNA structure. In nucleotides joined together by which type of bonds? So it is actually phosphodiester bond. For example, if you consider a pentose sugar 3' position having an ester bond with phosphorus, and another ester will be formed with 6th carbon atom of the next pentose sugar. So there will be nitrogen base here and nitrogen base here. Therefore, it is a phosphodiester bond. Phosphoric acid esters. These are also esters. Esters ante avalu carboxylic acid irbeku anta ankobedi. It is phosphoric acid ester because there are organic molecules, alcohols, and there are two ester bonds. Therefore, it is called phosphodiester bond. So idu naaku itkobeku peptides ge peptide bond anti proteins ge carbohydrates ge we say it is glycosidic bond. Here it is phosphodiester bond. So in nucleotides or polynucleotides, the linkage is phosphodiester bond. So this is the answer for 32nd question. Which of the following is not correct? Digestion of proteins begins in stomach. Actually, this is correct statement. Proteins hydrolysis ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ pepsin hormone enzyme that is present in stomach, not in mouth. Whereas carbohydrates digestion starts in mouth because of salivary amylase. Low pH of stomach, around 1.5 to 2 pH, highly acidic solution because of concentrated HCl. Denaturation of proteins prior to digestion, that is also correct. Enzymes, proteases break down large protein molecules into smaller peptides. Sometimes they are referred as peptones, and they are converted into amino acid by peptidiasis. This is also correct. So A, B, C are correct. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದರೆ which of the following is not correct ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ. The major source of energy of cells is obtained by digestion of proteins is wrong. In fact, proteins are highly almost non-calorific in nature. Calorific value refers to amount of energy usually measured in calories per gram in the food ಅಥವಾ fuel ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Carbohydrates and fats, oils and fats have very high calorific value, whereas proteins do not have such calorific value. So high proteins is consumed by those people who want to maintain their body weight and also diabetic patients. So major source of energy actually they are only source of amino acids which are later used for so many purposes like preparing enzymes, hormones, etc. So idರಲ್ಲಿ D statements wrong ಆಗಿದೆ, therefore that is the answer. Which of the following is generally water soluble? See, amylose is a component of starch. Starch ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು components ಇರುತ್ತೆ. One is amylose and another is amylopectin. Amylose ಮತ್ತೆ amylopectin ಎರಡು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Amylopectin is insoluble in water. That is about 80% of starch, whereas 20%, 15 to 20% will be amylose that is soluble in water, that is only hot water only. Ganchi anta karitivalla adu starch solution. Glycine is an amino acid which can easily form hydrogen bonding with water. All amino acids are crystalline solids which are highly soluble in water because of hydrogen bonding. Vitamin C is a water soluble vitamin. So it is ascorbic acid because of carboxylic acid groups. It can form hydrogen bonding with water. Fibrous protein is the answer for this. Now ಹಿಂದೆ ಒಂದು question ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ, globular protein is water soluble because hydrophilic groups are projected outwards, but fibrous protein ಅಲ್ಲಿ hydrophobic groups will be projected outwards. Hydrophobic groups ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ usually like the leucine, isoleucine, valine, they have got the isopropyl secondary butyl structures which are hydrophobic in nature. Similarly, benzene ring containing compound, tryptophan structure, amino acid. So these amino acids contain hydrophobic aromatic rings. So therefore, fibrous proteins are insoluble in water. Fibrous protein ಅಲ್ಲಿ hydrophilic groups ಈ structure ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, hydrophobic groups ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Whereas in globular protein, hydrophilic groups will be outside, hydrophobic groups will be inside. Hydrophilic groups ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇದ್ರೆ that will be making hydrogen bonds and soluble in water. That is one of the differences between fibrous protein and globular protein. So fibrous proteins are insoluble in water. A heterocyclic amino acid is, so we are coming back to some more questions on amino acids and proteins. Aspartic acid is acidic amino acid, and tyrosine is a phenolic amino acid. Serine is a alcoholic amino acid. So you must be familiar with the structures of the 20 amino acids. And tryptophan contains an aromatic ring that is a heterocyclic ring. So it contains a heterocyclic ring. Therefore, it is a heterocyclic amino acid. The phenolic group, it may be aromatic, but does not contain the heterocyclic ring. Tryptophan, and there are some more compounds like amino acids like histidine, they contain heterocyclic ring. So D is the answer for 35th question. Acidic amino acid. See, if you consider the general structure, we write like this: R COOH. R ನಾನು hydrogen ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ simplest amino acid glycine ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Leucine, it contains an alkyl group, side chain group. Glutaric acid contains CH2COOH instead of R. So it is an acidic amino acid because of two acid groups. Oxalic acid is no doubt dicarboxylic acid, but it is not an amino acid. Amino acid ella confuse ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. So glutaric acid and aspartic acid are two amino acids which contain two COOH groups. Optically inactive amino acid. See, just now I wrote the structure of glycine, where the alpha carbon atom, this alpha carbon atom is not chiral because of two hydrogen atoms. Therefore, it is the first member of amino acids which is not optically active. It is the simplest one. It is not optically active because of absence of chiral carbon. In between, ನೀವು ಏನೇ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ hydrogen ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ, that will be optically active. So all other amino acids, 19 amino acids occurring in nature, are optically active amino acids. Glycine is the only amino acid which is optically inactive. A decapeptide has 10 monosaccharides ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಅವಾಗ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು decasaccharide ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Decasaccharide will be having 10 monosaccharides, 9 peptide bonds. Actually, this is the correct statement and that is the answer. So number of amino acids na ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತದೆ, number of amino acids is 10. So number of peptide bonds ಅಂದಾಗ one number ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, that becomes 9. So this number indicates the number of amino acids. ಈಗ octapeptide ಅಂದ್ರೆ there will be 8 amino acids. 10 nucleotides ಆಗಲ್ಲ, so the DNA RNA ಗೆ ರೆಫರ್ ಆಗೋದು. So this will be wrong. So this is wrong statement. Peptide andre it refers to polymers of alpha amino acids. 9 glycosidic bonds, again it refers to carbohydrates. Glycosidic bonds are present in carbohydrates. So 10 monosaccharides join agidre without formation of a ring, then there will be 9 glycosidic bonds. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿರೋದು peptide ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ we have to choose the answer as the 9 peptide bonds. Okay, answer for this will be 9 peptide bonds. This is a usual question that you find in both theory and CET exams. Amino acid which does not obey the general formula. ನೋಡಿ, ನಾವು general formula of amino acids ಬರೀರಿ ಅಂತ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಾವು ಈ ತರ ಬರೆದು ಬಿಡ್ತೇವೆ. But there is one amino acid among the 20 which does not obey this general formula, that is proline. So ನೀವು structures ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಓದಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ CET exam ಗೆ. Proline is completely different in structure. It's in fact sometimes called amino acid, but ali secondary amine group is, you can see there is no primary amine group, and but alpha carbon ge attach ಆಗಿರೋದು. So So it does not obey the general formula. Therefore, answer for this question is proline. Which of the following statements is true? Monosaccharides have L configuration at highest number chiral carbon. That is true. If we consider glucose, this is the 6th carbon atom, and 5th carbon atom we have to consider, because this carbon atom is originally present in glyceraldehyde. Glyceraldehyde is taken as the standard molecule for assigning the configuration of monosaccharides. So in a right side OH is similar to glycerol, therefore it is considered as D. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರು L configuration ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So first statement is actually wrong statement. Monosaccharides in fact have D configuration. Reference molecule ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದರೆ glyceraldehyde. All amino acids have D configuration ಅನ್ನೋದು ತಪ್ಪಾಗುತ್ತೆ. See, if I write the general structure, so glycine on the bitre. So this is how it should be written. Some R group and hydrogen here. So NH2 group is present on the left side. Therefore, all amino acids are having L configuration. So idu napka itkolli monosaccharides ge D configuration irutte. And for amino acids, if this is chiral carbon atom agidre, then it will be L configuration. Natural glyceraldehyde is taken as standard for assigning configuration of amino acids alla, adu carbohydrates ge tagollodu monosaccharides ge. So C statement is also given as wrong. Thyroxine is an amino acid. Oh, yes, this is the correct statement. So which of the following is true anta kelidare? See, thyroxine is an amino acid, but it is not found in proteins. In fact, it is a hormone. You ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಾ thyroid gland anta, which produces thyroxine hormone, tetraiodo and also triiodo derivatives of amino acids containing a biphenyl ring. So thyroxine is no doubt an alpha amino acid. Adu kuda alpha amino acid but it is not found in proteins. Therefore, it is not considered as amino acid under proteins. ಇದನ್ನ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Its biological functions majorly include controlling the metabolism of carbohydrates. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ A wrong ಇದೆ, B wrong ಇದೆ, C is also wrong. Correct statement is D only. Therefore, D is the correct choice.